Welcome to Grand Final Day at the 2018 AMNA National Championships. This is the 34th edition of the Championships. My name is Steve McInnes. I am joined by Josh Bogers from New South Wales. How are you this morning, Josh?
Good morning.
So we have your New South Wales Mixed Reserves team here up against Victoria. These teams have met previously. Both those results going the way of Victoria. What do you expect from today's game, Josh?
I think if New South Wales could put the pressure on early, I think they're going to keep the scoreboard ticking over. So keep that pressure on Victoria is what they need to do in this grand final. It's going to be, loud in here with this crowd. So yeah,
absolutely. Of course, there is a game going on the show court as well. So we have a grand final being played down there. That is also a New South Wales versus Victoria in the 20 and under men's division as well. So feel free to flick between the two if you want some score updates. Teams in their final huddles having their last chats. Lineups have been set, and we will have the teams out on court very, very shortly. The ladder for this competition in the mixed reserves, it's an 8-team competition. Victoria finished on top after the minor rounds, so you'd expect them to be pretty happy with their position. They had a reasonably easy run through the final series as well. Had an elimination final, which was 1 versus 8. That was a game versus Tasmania the other day. They won that 80-14. And then they defeated New South Wales, the team they're up against now in the grand final, in their semi 49-22, I should say. So had an easier run than New South Wales, who had to go through by beating ADF in the elimination final, and then play a semi, which they lost to Victoria, and then a prelim against ACT last night to get themselves here today. So they won that game against ACT yesterday by 10 goals to get through into this grand final. So Josh, you were here this year as the 17s coach for New South Wales, I believe.
Third year in a row here, coaching the 17s, so rebuilding year for us. Team's quite young, so looking more to the future rather than just this national.
Yeah, that's right. So you get a few years to work with them, 2 or 3 years to work with most of these boys that you've got now.
So 2020 is what we're going for.
Excellent. As long as there's a plan.
That's it. That's the plan.
I'm sure these two teams will have a plan as well. New South Wales really the ones that need to come out on the front foot and dictate to Victoria, having had a couple of losses against them. All the states very well represented in this division. We had Victoria, New South Wales, ACT, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, the ADF, and also Tasmania. So the second biggest pool of teams,
that's
only
so good
eclipsed
to
by
see.
the men's reserves, which had 9 teams.
It's so good to see this mixed reserves comp in. It's, making the tournament bigger. It's bringing more spectators, bringing more players. So good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to see those nice big competitions underneath. It gives a lot of players to come up and feed into your open grades as well.
And these guys have been knocking on the door definitely next year. So
absolutely. So our teams are out. The whistle has gone for 30 seconds from play. And ball has been delivered, so it's going to be a New South centre pass to get us started in this grand final in the 34th AMNA Championships.
Victoria, pressure on early.
Yeah, lots of pressure on every one of the ball handlers that New South Wales has had so far in this first passage of play. Good ball there to hold from the goal shooter, and they start very, very well in New South Wales. Nice and patient, not too rushed. Good to see. They're going to need that patience. I'm sure Victoria will take it right up to them. Croft in wing defence with the ball there now. Patterson, wing attack, feeding nicely into Billings, I should say, in shooter. Dower not wanting to take that long range shot there. Wants to make sure we go nice and secure with that first shot. Always good to get the first couple from close range, then you can start extending out, of course, as you get more and more comfortable.
Both teams scoring off their first centre passes, which is nice steady for them.
Britt Berry having to go right back there to the transverse line. And nice low feed there.
Beautiful shot.
Fantastic shot. So still on centre passes here. Dower comes out, does the work to get that centre pass received. With contact on Croft there. Gives him a free pass at the transverse line. Good look into Billings. No one defending her on that take. Good defensive pressure over the shot though. And Dower can't come up with a rebound.
Fortunately he's out of court with that rebound.
Very, very close to the sideline here in New South. They need to bring this ball back into the central corridor if they can. Should say this broadcast today and throughout all of Grand Final Day brought to you by Game Clothing, our major sponsor. New South with a chance to take an early lead here, but a bit of miscommunication there. And they send that ball over the goal line, going to be brought back in by Victoria.
Oh, well done from New South Wales. Just interrupted the space, thought that the drive was on, but overcooked the pass. So Grant McLeod there coming up with the ball, and Brookberry finishing that one off.
New South Wales just being forced to hold this ball for quite a while now. Yeah. All the Victorian defenders getting back in behind the ball between the attacking player and the posts, making it really hard to get a feed off. Umpire just calling that one back. Berry with another goal.
Beautiful shot. She has a really nice high release. Just going to make it hard for the defenders to get up and block that one.
She has started really well, hasn't she? And Victoria, definitely the more nervy of the two teams, I feel.
Yeah, New South Wales putting the pressure on nice and early. Every centre pass they're out contesting. The attackers are out putting arms over, so that's what you want. Coach Tom Patelli will be asking those attackers to keep defending that centre pass to force them. So, well done.
High ball there, just not quite to the right space. Grant McLeod not able to take that ball, so Victoria with a chance now.
Well contested there.
to get one of these back.
Well read.
A goal defence there for New South Wales in Angela Williams, coming out nicely from that circle to take that ball. Like I said, very well read. Good hands in there as well from Jamie Clark, the Victorian goal defence. Barry now, another mid-range offload.
Possession to McLeod there. Well contested from Williams. It was clean, so.
Was clean. Allowed himself still to stay in play. That's what you want to see. Keep the defensive pressure on if you can stay in play, particularly in that circle. Obstruction call there on Croft.
Oh, great front cut from Berry. Shot falling short.
Oh, everyone up there contesting for that rebound. Ends up falling the way of New South. Williams, well done down low there.
Well done.
Croft having to go back. Victoria not having the best time travelling through this mid-court. And as soon as I say that, they prove me right. Having to look long. And the goalkeeper for New South able to come out and pick that one up pretty easily. Dower just stepping offside. Did well to get himself around and in front for that tip. Chased it hard as well. Doesn't quite go his way though with that call from the umpire.
So great hold from McLeod. Very easy to feed that hold because he's so strong with that space.
Good chase there by both players. Goal defence from Victoria ending up with the contact call though. Gets herself back in play. Can't affect a stop. So New South Wales have definitely started in a flurry here. The hometown team coming right out and taking it to the Victorians.
They've pressured that centre pass again. So at the last one, the attackers come up with the ball, so they're putting the pressure on in defence as well as having the attacking skills.
That is called replay. He's a little hesitant on that shot from New South Wales. Croft now working through the mid-court, again struggling through this mid-court. Victoria just not connecting quite right so far this morning. Clark and Croft working that ball all the way down to the transverse line. And finally getting it in through Dower and now Billings.
Nice finish there from Victoria. Yeah, they've gone for a mismatch in this circle as well. They've got a male keeper and a female shooter from Victoria. Where down the other end there's a male versus male in that circle. So.
Yeah, and very evenly matched for height down there in the New South attacking circle. (6-2) is the current score to New South Wales. Britt Berry getting that ball into the circle edge. Almost too much on that feed for the goal shooter. Berry now finding himself mid-range. Puts in another beautiful shot. Victorian centre pass. They really want to score this one here. Get this deficit back a little bit. We are about midway through the first quarter of this grand final here at Janine Apple Centre.
Oh, nice pass.
Definitely contact on the goalkeeper there. So Dow would have had a free shot if he hadn't missed that anyway. Does convert it. So 4-goal lead, New South Wales. They've just been so patient here early on, New South Wales. You see it again there. No one forward, so
they're happy to play it back as well.
Absolutely. Taking their time. They know that every time they have the ball, Victoria aren't scoring. Contact call there on Williams, just getting a bit too much of the arm around the body. And New South finish again. Victoria with a much better build-up there, some much sharper connections.
Yeah, I think sometimes the Victorian leads are a little bit, they're not quite explosive enough, so I think maybe change of direction from the wing attack and centre just needs to really hit hard. I think that they're seeing it, but they're not really going hard at it, so hopefully they'll pick up on that one and inject the speed when they need to.
contact call there on Clark off that centre pass. So Berry with another fantastic mid-range shot there. It's a good combination in that New South circle. Berry able to take those mid-range shots. And the goal shooter Grant McLeod able to take those ones under the post if necessary, and or contest real hard for those rebounds with Williams. Great pick up there from the New South Wales goalkeeper in Bavatu.
Great patience. New South Wales there, just to wait for the open.
Yeah, it was held for a long time, wasn't it? And then that ball able to go flat along the goal line. Britt Berry manages to get that ball in, but only just to one of her players. Setting a good screen there now. Probably came off it a little bit early. Couldn't hold Williams out for the entire time. He did manage to challenge that ball somewhat. But they've done really well here. 10-4. I feel that New South coming out and starting like this are going to force Victoria to make the changes and maybe play this game with an unsettled lineup, which will make it real hard for them to catch this deficit up. Not saying it's not doable. There is plenty of netball left to play.
I think it's going to give New South Wales confidence going into the second quarter, knowing that they started nice and strong.
Absolutely.
That's what they're looking for, I think, as well. So.
Croft just looking around for someone. Had to go back to Clark. Billings now back to Clark as well. So Clark and Crofts having to do a lot of work in that mid-court to get that connection right up for the attacking end in Victoria's front half.
Beautiful hold from the shooter.
Yeah, Billings there finishes off nicely. Great hold. She dropped very nicely on that ball.
Yeah, that was one in New South Wales centre, so the Victorians have pegged one back on them.
Yeah, they need to make sure they score this one so they can consolidate that. Great work off the last centre pass from New South Wales. Billings here well within range. And they do. So it's back to a 4-goal margin. 10-6 New South, their centre pass. Great drive there from Gauchi to the centre for New South Wales. Just dropping that ball a little bit too far back. Saved by the post there. It's a good tap from Clark. Williams able to pick it up, so Victoria building now. Already up in their attacking third, but having to go backwards. Contact call on that transverse line. Offside call, actually. Victoria again getting a bit stuck on that far sideline from us, having to go backwards. Yep. New South getting a good touch there. Through Matt Gauchi. Croft. Patterson.
Contact call.
Dow with another shot. Might offload. No, shoots nicely there from mid-range. Channeling a bit of Brooke Berry from the other end, taking those mid-range shots.
Yeah, very nice from both shooters.
Patterson looking into Billings nice and quickly. Just waiting to see what the call is here, offside. So good hands from the goalkeeper.
And again, great footwork.
This stage, 2 minutes 10 left. I can see every Victorian player warming up. No one from the New South bench has stood up at all, so dare I say the indications are that Victoria will make changes to look to cut this deficit. Although they have done significantly well in the last couple of minutes.
Pegged it back a little bit.
Yeah, it was 4-10 I think, and now it's 8-10, so they've done very well. Good hands there from Croft. And he drives down to the transverse line as well. So backing up his own real good defensive touch.
Good swing, nice triangle there from Victoria. Victoria looking now just to get in a little bit of a rhythm. They've found their game that they know they're good at.
That's
They're
right.
just being steady. Oh, well done from the keeper.
Yeah, Bavatu, well done there. To come out, read that ball. New South just, lucky. He actually got a touch on that and just sent it over to his goal defence.
So low feed again to Berry. Nice and smart there, just creeping back towards the post. Let
Yeah, that ball
go.
almost rolling.
Almost.
By the time she picked it up, finishes off nicely.
So inside the final minute, the first quarter.
Umpire just setting this penalty properly. Really going to want to look to get rid of that ball. Nice and quick. Official clock here has 24 seconds left on it. New South will want to score this one. And they do, and they look now if they can in the last few seconds to get a stop on this Victorian centre pass and take a 3-goal lead. Victoria realising there's not much time left, in a bit of a rush.
Well done to New South.
There is time, yeah,
Slow
so
that one down.
really well done there for New South. Awareness that Victoria had about 15 seconds only with that pass, and they kept them in the mid-court. They barely got it across the transverse line. So at the end of the first quarter, we have the Victorian Mixed Reserves trailing in New South 9-12. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly. Welcome back to Janea Netball Centre here in Sydney. We have the home side, New South Wales, with an absolute blinder of a start against Victoria, who have defeated them twice previously in the minor rounds and in the finals. Have you seen the first quarter, Josh?
Look, I think New South Wales got off to a great start. Credit to Victoria. That I think they were down 10-4 at this, halfway through that quarter, and they've ever so slightly closed that gap each time. So credit to them. They've taken their time to settle in. Both teams started off really settled, which I was quite surprised with.
Yeah, the first 3 goals were on centre passes, and then it got a little bit rattled from there. But very good starts by both these teams.
Yeah, Brookberry at the start being a standout for me, just taking that front position, opening up the back hold for Grant McLeod as well. So, and she's not afraid to go to the post.
No, not afraid to turn and shoot it at all, is she? So it's done very well from mid-range.
Yeah.
And then Croft as well. McLeod, backing up very nicely. Have seen some changes from the Victorian side. Croft, who I was looking at when I was speaking there, has come off. I can't see exactly the people sitting down at the moment, but we've just been handed a change sheet. So we have a new centre for Victoria in Holton. He's come off the bench. Kate Patterson has gone from wing attack to wing defence. Hannah Kuhar from centre to wing attack, and Colin Croft has been taken off from that wing defence position. I thought Croft was quite patient during that first. Actually, he helped them transition very well through that mid-court. So hopefully Victoria have a plan to replace that drive and patience that he showed in that first, because they're going to need it to get themselves back into this game here.
And as I thought, Tommy Patelli, the coach of New South Wales, made no changes. Why would you when they're converting off the turnovers that they're getting and scoring their centre passes? So he would be asking them to stay consistent through the second quarter. I think
Absolutely. By this end of the week, you know what your best 7 probably is. You've played 10 plus hours of netball. Oh, great work to do the footwork and get around there.
Unfortunately called for a replay.
Yeah, it's just touched that ball into the ground a couple of times before picking it up.
So
good offload there.
Beautiful
from Berry.
Overcooked that one.
And out of court when going for that rebound. So McLeod missing that goal.
So
Holton now the new centre. Both him and the wing tack getting caught in the same position. New South getting good touch on that. And getting 3 players around that ball too. So very, very heavy defensive efforts from New South Wales. Clean but intense defensive efforts. Billings now with nowhere to go.
Great tip.
Berry gets her hand to that. She would have loved it if she could have pulled that one in. Bit of contact there from Gauci on the new centre for Victoria. Dower now not quite knowing where to look and refeed that ball to the circle edge. Going to drop into some backspace. Vivatu goes with him, gets a great touch. That ball going Victoria's way on the circle edge. Both those centre boys went hard for that pickup.
Disruption calls, so both players out of play. Dower missed that one. So that was a New South Wales centre. So
yeah, Victoria get that good start, and they get the centre pass as well. And then great defensive work once again from New South Wales on that centre pass. Really making the Victorians panic a little bit with that centre pass receive. Another great read there too from the wing defence.
Madison Kirk.
Stepping call there on the new centre on the court. Holton. Crowd getting involved in this now.
You'd assume it's going to take a few minutes for these guys to just settle in, steady this combination, Victoria. So.
Absolutely. That was a great chase from Britt Berry there, down in that pocket, but she couldn't find an opponent to flick it to. Putting themselves under a bit of pressure up that front end now, New South Wales. They wouldn't be happy with missing that last attempt. Haven't had a goal here for a little while. Only had the 1 goal so far in this quarter. And we've played quite a few minutes now. So scoring rate definitely dropping off so far.
It's becoming a bit of a defensive game now, I think.
Dower having to feed all the way back to that transverse line. Circle edge contact call. Dower popping out nicely for that and finishing beautifully.
Back to a 1-goal game.
Ooh, very, very close to a held ball there. Even Tim, our producer, shaking his head at that one, thinking it was pretty damn close to held. Don't know how much netball he knows, but he's certainly learnt a fair bit over the last 3 or 4 days.
He's been a great umpire this week from the sideline. I've heard him. Nice pass.
Beautiful. So New South get that one and steady. They keep a 2-goal lead at the moment, 11-13. Again, Victoria having to go back. And back again.
Great patience from Victoria and also great defence from New South Wales to keep forcing them backwards.
Absolutely. Just calling for a towel now here to get this floor wiped. Saw it's the men's reserve game. We had 3 or 4 boys slip in that pocket there that's being wiped now. Took a long time to get the court dry.
Billings front hold, nice and strong. Finish as well.
So Victoria really taking it back up to New South Wales now. New South Wales coming off worse in the 2 encounters they have had, and they've been quite big margins. So New South would be happy with this, but wanting to make sure that they keep this pace up. It's going to be a New South ball from the sideline nearest to us here in the commentary box. Berry does well to get to that pocket. Offloads, high offload. Challenge from Williams. Doesn't quite affect the spoil. Berry on the low hold. McLeod can't pull that one in on the baseline though, so Williams to bring this ball in for Victoria, and they'll look to go full court and even this game up at 13 apiece. That's going to be called over a third there. No one in that centre third managing to get a touch on that pass there. So New South now.
This is New South centre pass, so they just want to look to score off theirs.
Absolutely. Once you've got the lead, that's all you really need to do. You can go goal for goal, but just every time you get that ball in your hands, you score it. You're never going to have any problems winning games. Berry outside the circle. Not quite sure what space to drop that into. Williams comes out of the circle and gets the contact call as well going his way. Both him and the wing attack going hard for that loose ball. That's going to be called a step there on the Victorian centre. Just carrying that ball as he went. That's going to be called a step as well. So a couple of simple errors creeping in now to both sides. And as I say that, another simple error.
Got him again.
Dower not able to take that ball cleanly on the goal line. And holding call there against Victorian wing attack in Kuha. New South, long lead up, long ball, couldn't quite get 2 hands to that. So they spray that one over the sideline.
Yeah, I think they might have just needed to look to the centre, the middle channel there for that pass, and centre it up and then look forward. It was just a little bit of a long, too far, I think, for that pass. But well done, she's got the ball back after throwing that one away.
That's it, that's a work rate you want to see from your players. Will be very tired bodies out there. Berry just going out of court, having to throw that one back in again, not able to find someone. That's one in each pocket now for her. That's gone awry. She maybe needs to think about getting herself back into the middle of the court as well.
Great vision from the wing attack to find that goal tackle alone under the post.
So 7 minutes left to play in this half, and Victoria have finally got this deficit back. It is 13 apiece, and it's on their centre pass as well. So goalkeeper there from New South, Bavatu, coming out beautifully.
Well read for that one.
New South again, we see them stuck on that sideline.
They love the
Berry
sideline.
trying to get in a little bit further, but going straight back out to the sideline. Gauchi taking that pass. He quite smartly steps to the inside of the player to take that pass. Gets it off to Berry. And that's how quickly a game of netball can change. New South scoring that centre pass. If they score this, they're back up by 2 again.
So Berry just working her circle entries, so she's not in there too soon, giving McLeod time to set up as well.
Yeah, and he hits that shot as well, so that'd be a good steadier for him. He's lost a couple of balls over that goal line. He'd be really happy to have got that one out in front and finished off with the shot as well. Billings now doing well to hold on to that ball, draw the obstruction, gives them a 2-on-1 in the circle. Well within range for her, puts it in easily. Great touch there from Dower coming through, follows it up. Gets his own ball. Contact call as well there. It's going to be in the centre third, I believe. So gives Victoria the chance to go forward. They go long through Billings. And again, just a bit of a sloppy contact there on Vivatu. Probably didn't need to hack the arms there. Could have kept himself in a good defensive position by not. as it is. Billings gets a second shot and hits it.
Contact ball, Gauci.
So Victoria now with the chance to actually take the lead for the first time in this game, if they can get this one in here. Take there by Billings. Good offload too, nice and quick, straight over the head of her direct opponent. Gets it to Dower, who converts, so 16-15. Britt Berry shouting lots of instructions there for the guys and girls in front of her to clear some space. Low hold, low feed, offload is well read there. Very, very well read. And Victoria come up with another one by that good defensive effort from Clark in goal defence. She drives that ball out well as well. So Victoria's starting to hit their stride now. They take this one down court and score to have a 2-goal lead. Patterson in support on transverse line. Dower nicely refeeding and converting. It's also going to be a Victorian centre pass, so they have a 2-goal lead and their centre. New South won't be happy with themselves dropping that lead from the first quarter.
No, definitely not. So great work there from Matt Gauci.
Better use of the central corridor here from New South Wales.
So it was a lucky.
That was a very lucky pick up there on that transverse line. And a stepping call. Getting that ball in their hands a bit earlier than he thought there. And trying to gain a bit of ground to the post as well, probably. Make that shot easier. Ending up with the error. Victoria working well through Billings. Dower again refeeding. New South with the touch.
Great footworks from Angela Williams there to just get around and interrupt that ball. So
yeah, just unfortunately not able to get enough on it to get the stop. Have about 2 minutes left here in this first half of the grand final between Victoria and New South Wales in the mixed reserves. A broadcast brought to you by Game Clothing. We're here at Janina Netball Centre. Of course, Berry with another mid-range shot. She has been drilling those today. Just hasn't had as many in this quarter as she had in the first. So volume a bit lower, and that's really led to the score difference here that we see now. 18-16 to Victoria. Their centre pass.
Billings in front.
Dower doing a lot more work this quarter as well. Billings not able to hang on to that one, but Victorians all around it at the fall of that ball. And Dower and Holtham again doing a lot of work and refeeding to each other. Getting that ball as close to the post so it can be converted. Victoria coming up with another one here. Holtham at full stretch, just plays that ball to himself. Billings manages to get on the end of that full. Good defensive touch there from Bavatu in goalkeeper. So we saw the changes at the quarter-time break come from Victoria off that good start from New South Wales. You think we'll see New South do the same at the half, Josh?
Look, I'm not sure. Victoria maybe, New South Wales maybe a little bit fatigued, I think, maybe at the moment. But, you know, Tommy's got a lot of players on the bench that he can bring on. So, yeah, I think, it's all or nothing in this game. So, if it's not working...
Yeah, looking over to the benches, everyone is warming up. There are no players sitting down on either bench. The Victorians and the New South Wales bench players are all getting themselves ready to go, hoping to get that chance to come into this game and make a difference. Final seconds of this quarter. Victoria through Dower, looking to go to the post. and hit it on the siren. So that is half time. We'll have Victoria 21, New South Wales 16. So just the 4 goals from New South Wales. That is going to be problematic for them. We will be back with the second half of this match very, very shortly.
Passion, dedication, fun, and fitness. What do all these things have in common? These are all the qualities of Game Clothing and our brand ambassadors, professional athletes Laura Langman and Stephanie Wood. Stay up to date with all the latest ambassador and product news at gameclothing.com.au.
Welcome back to Janine Netball Centre. We have seen a swing in this game here between Victoria and New South Wales. At the quarter-time break, we saw New South Wales with a 3-goal lead. Now we see Victoria, after making some changes, with a 5-goal lead. So a really good comeback here from Victoria, who have had the ascendancy over New South Wales in both the minor round and the semi-final as well. How have you seen the start to this game from both teams, Josh?
I think New South Wales started really nicely in the first quarter. They just, were steady. Both teams were steady, but they finished stronger at the end of that first quarter. But coming back in that second quarter there, Victoria just came out a little bit more hungry for the ball, cherished their possession and scored over their turnovers, and that reflects in the score. So just 4 to New South Wales in that quarter, and I think it was 12 to Victoria. So
yeah, we can see that there have been some changes from the Victorian team. I saw some bibs moving around. Tommy Portelli over in the New South Wales huddle having lots of words as well to his team there. So we have had Croft sub back into the game into centre for Victoria. That is the only change over there. We should update you as well over on the show court. If you are interested, New South Wales versus Victoria as well in the 20 and under men's division. At the halftime break, it was 23-22 to New South. So a very tight game over there as well. Also have some other grand finals coming up later today. 11:30 we'll have the mixed open and the men's reserves. The mixed opens will be over on the show court. The men's reserves will be on this court here. And 1:45, the big match on its own, the men's open, which will be New South versus Queensland.
And that will be a blockbuster.
It will indeed.
So it looks like Coach Tommy Portelli from New South Wales has made 2 changes. Nathan Dart's come onto wing defence. And Aaron Coughlin has come to Wing attack.
Wing attack. So New South going to want to start strong here. That's a good ball
Really
in.
nice ball.
Nice and flat and hard. Taken on the chest and converted. Long, high look in there.
It was an offside call, so that penalty.
Yeah, it wasn't set up properly. It has to be taken from inside the circle for an offside call. Croft working nicely on that circle edge. Puts that ball over to Dower, who is able to convert. So on centre passes here, goal apiece in this quarter here, the third quarter, premiership quarter. Very, very long held to that ball.
So 5 goals is the margin. It doesn't have to be done now. They can just eat away at it. So
Berry looking to offload. Williams nearly coming out and getting that ball. Just need to get a little bit more of a hand to it. And
shot.
Berry turns and delivers once again. She's been very solid for New South. And the combination of Dow and Billings up the other end just been a little bit sharper. They've shared the workload quite well between the two of them.
great pressure there from New South Wales, forcing that ball over the baseline. Little hold in play while we fetch the ball.
So for this match, we will not have an official player of the match chosen by the commentators for an interview. There will be an actual player of the grand final selected by the umpires, and there will be a medal presentation on this court shortly after the game. So hang around through the end of the live stream for a quick interview or so with a player or two, and then a medal presentation as well. You won't have to switch streams for that. It will be done on this court. New South Wales again through Berry. Too long range on that one. She decides to dish off, but the call has come back her way. Shot dropped short. Victoria with the pick up through Clark. Berry nicely cutting that drive off there from Clark. Only really one option for Victoria. Be looking to block this ball in as best they can. New South Wales. Doing well to force Victoria to work this ball slowly through the mid-court. Croft, I thought he provided a lot of good drive and support in that wing defence role in the first quarter. So good to see him back on court.
Great attacking
being
skills,
rewarded for that effort. Great read there by Bavatu coming out of the circle to pick up his own crumbs. New South managing to find free players. Coughlin in wing attack getting herself into the game.
Williams.
But throwing that one a little wayward. Never want to go across the top of that circle. This is the danger spot. Someone on the top is fine, but across just leads to that with Williams coming out nicely with that read. Victoria 4-goal lead here, 22-18. Good ball from Croft to Billings. And she finishes off as well. Coughlin getting out for that centre pass, offloading to Berry. Just see a wall of Victorians that Berry has to try and go over. Puts
Great
it too
effort
far.
from McLeod there, chasing that one out, but unfortunately Victoria coming up with possession with a fullback call.
Yeah, second call there on Patterson through the mid-court. So New South lucky to get this one back here. Going to have to do the work. 10.5 minutes in the third quarter. New South will want to be within 2 or 3. Again, they would still be happy with this scoreline as it sits at the moment.
It's 2 goals apiece in this third quarter, so it's been very, very defensive. 4 goals in 5 minutes. So
in the semi, Victoria defeating New South by 27 goals. So 5 midway through the third quarter is very respectable indeed. And good ball there. Just missing that shot. Crofts coming up with a good challenge on that circle edge. So too Williams under the post for that rebound. That's just been the difference, I think. There's been a lot of balls that have fallen the way of Victoria with some really good chases on the tips that they have got defensively. Bavatu comes up with one, talking to his players, telling them to settle down and come forward now, making sure they've got passing options. He's still in support there. Again, Bavatu just telling these mid-quarters of his, come help out, we need you. Good ball there to Berry, a strong hold. Two girls, Berry and Coghlan, wearing the same very, very bright shoes there.
Yeah.
And Berry finishes another one. Now producer Tim running back to us frantically here. Don't know where he disappeared to.
I think he was warming up. He wants to get on the court.
Tim's keen for another touch. Saved our electronics many times throughout this broadcast. Dower offload to Billings.
Great hold.
Billings looking to offload as well to Dower. He gets the contact call. Probably just looking to offload a little bit too much there. Both Billings and Dower have shot pretty well. So probably not needing to offload between each other at that sort of range. Just take the shot. They're not short on height for rebounds either there if they do miss. Berry having to do a lot of work as a mid-quarter as well to help out this New South team get this ball down. Both shooters getting stuck behind there, making that feed really hard. Had to swing that ball to Coghlan on the circle edge. Challenge from Williams is good. Might have caught a little bit of arm, but the umpire's allowing it to play. Coghlan just being called back to stand out properly. Kuha there with the ball. Clark looking long. Step for Billings. Well outside the circle. Umpire just having to replace his whistle there. Better build up here from New South. Berry looking to take this ball. Potentially offload. Another call on Clark. So that gets Williams back into a defensive position under the posts. McLeod finishes off.
So it brings back to 4.
New South want to do the defensive work here. Try and get this one now if they can. 6 minutes 50 left on the clock in the arena. Clark and Crofts just doing well, taking their time. Billings, Kuhan on the circle. Good touch, good chase. Dart can't quite get that one. Berry with a sneaky touch in there. And an appeal to the umpire.
Yeah.
He laughs it off. He's not getting away with that. I'll make my own call, thank you. Crofts with a very physical re-entry back onto court there.
Bit of a hit, but they're both back up.
Billings finishes off for Victoria. 5-goal lead now. Clark just contacting on Berry there. Victoria doing very well to get really good defensive position, making this so hard for New South. Having to work the ball a lot. A great elevation there for Williams. Nearly got that tip. It would have been on the way down though.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been allowed.
Shot nice and high.
Yeah, very high shot from Berry. She has shot very well. Been a bit of a standout for me as far as the New South team is concerned. And for Victoria, Crofts I think has played very well in that wing defence role and now centre role. Coghlan finding some space, probably for the first time this quarter. Defensive pressure has been good from Victoria. Berry taking that pass nice and quick to the open side away from her defender in Clark. And putting another short range shot up. So still 4-goal margin to Victoria. So far it's just that second quarter that's gone against New South really. They've been right in this game otherwise, which is what you want to see for a grand final.
Coghlan. Berry.
Long look. Oh. Tries to go over Williams. Gets a good tip on it. And enough to work it out.
I think McLeod just moved off his hold a tiny bit early there, so the next one, they're going to go high again. I think he just needs to hold for an extra second.
Yeah, you've got to wait for that ball to be pretty much on top of your head before you move off. That way it's already past the defender, and they can't get up and get a tip. New South having to go back once again. Dart looking to help out on that transverse line, gets the ball to Coghlan.
Obstruction call, Craft on the edge of the circle.
Berry too far for her, so she tries to work it, but Clark has been called for the obstruction. Steps on in, Berry, drops it short, gets her own rebound, decides to refeed that.
Croft's in everything on the edge of the circle. He's making them work hard for that ball.
Fantastic shot once again from Berry. Keeps them within 4. Not letting them get away.
Definitely keeping that scoreboard pressure on. So, you know, still 18 minutes to go in the game. Doesn't have to be done now. It can be done in the final 3 minutes. Give the coach a heart attack.
Absolutely. Pick up there from Bavatu. New South Wales actually winning this quarter by a goal at this stage. So if they can score this one, they will dig into that deficit.
And have the next centre pass as well.
That's right, and who knows what can happen in the last quarter of the grand final. Berry missing that shot there, unfortunately. Bit annoyed at herself, puts the hand up and said probably shouldn't have taken that shot. Good ball over to Croft. Is chased hard as well. And spills out of court off New South Wales.
Great tip from Davida.
Croft, circle edge. Can't find Billings. But get the offside call. Maybe contact call actually on Dart as he came through there. Good hands in there from New South Wales. But Dower finds himself on the goal line. And now with a free shot after the contact from Bavatu. Obstruction here, so both players out. And Dower doesn't miss that.
So injury timeout here from the wing defence of Victoria, Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson coming off. And new to wing defence coming on. Great take there from Dower. Really, really good defensive work from the goal attack from Victoria. New South can't quite pick that one up. They're going to get the call going their way on that ground level challenge there from Billings.
So Michelle Williams is the replacement wing defence. So let's come on. Coach just looking for something different there, maybe a little bit more height. She's quite tall, so.
Coghlan can't get herself free up front, so New South having to go backwards through Dart. Again, just dropping off that hold a little bit too early. This is McLeod. Finds himself now with a mid-range shot. Takes it. Misses. Everyone up for the boards. Williams comes up with it. Berry finds herself on the floor. And there is a caution for Coughlin. Coughlin, the captain of this New South Wales team. Currently now have a 7-goal lead to Victoria with the last centre pass to come. Stadium clock says 11 seconds left in this quarter.
Well done from Dart. Brett got a tip on that centre pass. So.
Ball is going to go New South Way. If nothing else, they have at least disrupted this centre pass from Victoria, who won't be able to score and push it out to an 8-goal lead. So we have at 3/4 time the Victorian Mixed Reserves leading New South Wales 30-23. We'll be back shortly with the final quarter of the game. Welcome back to the final quarter here of the Mixed Reserves game. You are on court 1 of the Janea Netball Centre. We have New South Wales versus Victoria. We have had a score adjustment. I did read it out as 30-23. It is actually 29. So that quarter there, therefore, was an 8-goal to 7 quarter. So New South Wales keeping with them, winning the first quarter, losing the second, only just losing that one. What do you think will happen in this last quarter here, Josh?
Look, I think New South Wales just need to go all for it now. It's, the last quarter of the grand final, there's nothing to lose. So I think they need to dig deep and work hard for that one. So
yeah, they haven't been this close during the minor round or the semi-final. So pressure is completely on Victoria to keep this record against them intact. Just been handed some changes. Josh, you want to update us on those?
So Kate Patterson has gone from the bench to wing attack, and Hannah Kua has gone to the bench. So just the one change there. And
we have the restart here. So New South did well to make sure that Victoria didn't score that last centre pass of the third quarter. And they really want to make sure they capitalise and score this first one here. 6 goals, not unthinkable in 15 minutes. Very nice.
Yeah, so
mid-range to long shot there.
The change for New South Wales is coming in that Gauchi's come back onto centre, and Medikirk has come back on to wing defence. So going back to the starting lineup plus Coughlin at wing attack. So
should say we have some other games coming up. At 11:30 we will have Victoria versus Queensland in the Mixed Open and the Men's Reserves grade. Mixed Open will be down on the show court, Men's Reserves on this court here. We also have the Men's Open, which will be New South versus Queensland at 1:45. Paige Hadley will be commentating that men's grand final. If you're a fan of Paige Hadley, stick around and listen to her commentate that. She did a few games the other day as well.
And a shout out to Jess Abernathy. She's said this commentary is brilliant. So
that is fantastic. Thank you very much for that comment, Jess.
Thank you. We are watching the live
I
stream
noticed,
at the
Tim,
same
nothing
time.
about the production, just the commentary,
Just
mate.
the commentary. Yeah. The game's all right too, I guess.
The game's pretty damn good, actually. So what you want to see in a grand final? Hopefully New South don't let this slip. They've got 13 and a half minutes here. Just got to work hard to get those defensive touches. It's probably where they've lacked a bit. Bavatu has been good. He's come out and got some tips, but once that ball is in the circle for Victoria, it's pretty much been scored every time by Dower and Billings. So Croft again doing a lot of the work. Good long feed to that backspace. Measures it beautifully, so it didn't go out. Dower able to rein it in and score another one.
So it's only 4 turnovers, still 13 minutes. 4 turnovers definitely doable. So if they can get a couple here, and if they score off their centre passes and put the scoreboard pressure on, it could rattle the VICs a bit.
Absolutely.
So.
And we see a much better ball there as well from Matt Gauchi into the goal shooter for New South. So able to convert that one easily. That's what they're going to need to do up front in attack as well. Just bring that little bit of speed and placement back into their game. But that's the damage of that Dower and Billings combination. There he is again.
Defensive pressure.
Mention his name, and he gets that defensive pressure. Unfortunately, just forces that ball a little bit wide. We've got a call in on the circle edge.
Yeah, so
I thought maybe that was going to be in the circle.
Williams.
Berry dropping that ball over Williams' head. And McLeod converting once again. So New South with the last couple here. Victoria having to look to that transverse line and the support of Clark in goal defence. They have done that brilliantly though. Croft could have probably put that ball a little bit further into the pocket, so allowing the challenge on Patterson. But the contact call going her way. Croft unmanned, top of the circle. And contact call for Billings on Bavatu. Dower finishing another one. He's been a standout for me as well in that Victorian side. Between him and Croft, they've really had that mid-court and front end sewn up. Billings has been great as well, coming into the game when she's been needed.
Well read by Clark. Actually, contact call.
Yeah,
or an offside call. Offside. Wing defence.
all the players just taking the time to set up what's actually required here. Colgan finds herself out on the 45.
Nice
Drops that ball over to McLeod, who drops it in. 10.5 minutes in one of the first grand finals of the day. 5 grand finals being played today. 2 played last night. Oh, great take there by Bavatu. So the grand finals last night had Victoria win both of those as well.
They did.
So this will be their 3rd grand final win of this championships if they can sew this one up here. Coghlan just dropping that ball out the back. And the other court as well, we should update you on the score there. New South is currently 3 goals up, or they were at the break anyway. We can't see the scoreboard live for you. So there is a tight game going on over there between these 2 teams in that 20 and under division.
So New South Wales, this is a VIC centre pass, so if they can convert this one and score off their own, they're going to put the scoreboard pressure back on again.
Stretch there from the wing fence to put that pressure on. Just going offside with the feet. Very hard to stay onside when you're trying to stretch that far into the circle and get a touch on the ball. Williams with the contact coming back onto McLeod. Going to call for a towel here.
Bit of moisture on the court. It is quite humid in here, so the players are going hard at it as well. So definitely a lot of sweat out there.
That's right. It is only early in the day, but it has been hot and sticky here all week in Sydney. And with 5 courts playing as well, there is a lot of hot bodies running around. This competition has had 42 teams playing across the week. 55 umpires as well, so some 600 participants.
Yeah, fantastic
across this week. And there we are, Victoria finishing another one. So 34-27 is the current score to Victoria. They will be happy having plugged back a 3-goal deficit. And that ball from Coghlan not connecting with McLeod at all. They're just having a bit of a chat about it.
And I think you could see past his defender there, so.
Didn't know where to drop, where that space was. Williams in wing defence working well in support here as well. Giving that long ball to her wing attack, and Billings and Dower combine once again to get that ball to the goal line. And that was a New South centre pass, so Victoria here with the chance to score the last few, 35-27. 8 minutes left to play.
Down
Great drive from Dower.
I thought the pass was a bit too much, but he got up nice.
Yeah, he did manage to get up
one.
nicely on the end of that one, didn't he?
Pulled that one in quite nice. So Kirk in attack for the New South Wales team. Gauchi, high feed.
Williams picks that one up and drives out nicely, drawing the contact from Berry there. Allowing it to play on. So Williams in wing defence as well. Passing that ball nicely down to Dower in the pocket, who sends it over to Billings. And she chips in from pretty long range as well. So Victoria really looking to have the best of this last couple of minutes here.
They've really put the foot down this last quarter. They've come out and
Bavatu, good hands. Calls on the rest of his team to get involved. Not much movement there from New South Wales. Berry holds on to that one for a long time as well.
nice
Gets the space, and nice feed from Matt Gauchi as well to find Berry on the far side of all the defenders. So New South scored that Victorian centre pass. Want to convert their own here. Bring it back to 9. Currently at 38-28. Offside call just being set up here, taken by Britt Berry. She forces that ball. Victoria had the last touch on it though. Berry working well there to come to that ball. Mid-range shot's going to drop short. And Victoria again with the last touch. So New South on their third chance here.
They're chewing up a bit of time, so.
They are indeed. In
10 goals.
5 minutes 50 left on that clock in the stadium. It's going to make it very hard to eat into this deficit if they can't do it quickly.
Williams with the time jump.
Yes, no call from the umpire there on contact. So well timed by Williams. Berry now on their fourth chance. Great work there from Clark to go up and contest that ball with McLeod. Gets the tip.
Swing cross court to Croft.
So New South there on that last entry into their attacking third.
And the footwork call.
Couldn't score in 5 attempts. They get the chance again here. Matt Gauchi just able to pull that ball in. Probably getting a bit sweaty and a bit hard to rein in. Does well. Williams again, just fantastic work. Gets the contact call on that second attempt at that ball. McLeod having to chase hard. Flicks it back into Berry nicely. From short range, she doesn't miss those.
And they scored their set of pass, so 9 goals. They're going to have to definitely get a stop here if they want to try and put this scoreboard pressure on in the last 4.5 minutes. Okay, so need to convert this turnover here, and it needs to be done fairly quickly.
Oh, touch by Crofts. Can't quite keep it in. Nearest to our camera here. New South will retain possession. Going to have to go. Another minute 50 is wound off the clock. We find ourselves at 4 minutes now. Long look to Gauci. Coughlin, Gauci, Berry. Long range, decides it's too far. Coughlin puts that ball in nicely to McLeod's space.
So back to 8.
Don't forget to hang around and watch the medal and trophy presentation on this court after the game. Josh and I will also do a quick interview or two with some of the players to see how they feel after their win or loss, depending on who we manage to find to talk to. I'm sure Victoria will be celebrating hard. Closest this New South team has got, though, so they should be very proud of that achievement as well. Missed a couple of shots there now, McLeod. Unfortunately, probably feeling the effects of fatigue from not only the week, but from this game here as well today.
It's been well contested by both teams.
Absolutely, and it is a very long week. That ball sailing over a third. So New South from their defensive third to work this down. Going to have to find someone quick. Berry there, good chase, flicks it in, can't quite find a player. Seen her do those good chases 3 or 4 times. For me, she's probably been one of the standouts for the New South team. Her shooting has been fantastic, just hasn't been allowed the volume that Victorian pair has been.
Yeah.
Billings misses one. Good contest for rebounds by all those players in the circle then. Nice offload to Dower. And they finish off. So Victoria push it out now. We have 40 to 30. Sorry, just got to adjust it again. 39 to 30. 9-goal lead Victoria's favour. Minute 49. That ball, Croft maybe trying to shoot it a little bit. 3-pointer from outside the circle. Berry now finds herself in a bit of space, offloads to Gauci, drives on the goal line, mid-range shot, overcooks that one.
I think that was a pass.
Maybe call it a pass.
Yep.
No, she puts her hand up and says, oh, sorry about that. But lucky McLeod reels it in. I think
so
we are going to swap
from the goalkeeper.
So Williams is going to allow another Victorian player to hit court in this grand final.
And what a great job Williams has done this
Absolutely.
game to shut down.
He has done a fantastic job as well. It'll be very hard to pick a player of the final for that Victorian team because they have all contributed. Shooting circle has been fantastic with Dower and Billings. Mid-court with Croft has been fantastic as well. And Williams has come out and got so many touches. So really good effort by Vic to evenly distribute the workload across this court. Umpires will of course pick an official player of the match. We will have quick interviews with a couple of other players though, and then the medal presentation as well. 40 seconds on the official clock here, so it looks like it will be a Victoria win. Billings gets the call on to Vatu, finishes off. So 40 now to 32, 8-goal lead. Coughlin with that centre pass receive. Berry again doing the work outside the circle with Gauci. She's supported pretty well in that feeding role and then popped in and taken the mid-range shots when she's needed to.
McLeod shot full short, gets his rebound.
Full short again. He is absolutely spent, I think. Didn't even go up for that rebound on the last shot. And that is it. That is full time here on court 1 at Janine Netball Centre. The Victorian mixed reserve team has won this game 40 to 32. Thank you very much for joining us for that broadcast brought to you by Game. We will have a couple of minutes break and be back with some player interviews and then the medal presentation.
I'm here after that exciting grand final with Britt Berry, the goal attack from New South Wales. Britt, you guys had a really, really good start, just couldn't quite finish off in the end.
That's a testament to both our team and the other team. Victoria are an absolutely classy side, and as much as we wanted to get the win today, they worked for the full hour, and we couldn't quite. We were there for maybe 57 minutes of it, but a couple minutes just couldn't quite get there, unfortunately. But could not be more proud of our team.
Excellent. So it was 27 goals, I believe, in the semi-final against them. So to pull it to 8 in this game is absolutely phenomenal. I thought, personally, you shot the lights out and were probably the best player for New South Wales. So very, very well done to you. Unlucky on the loss. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
no worries. Go enjoy.
Thanks, mate.
Bye. We will be back with one more player interview very, very shortly. Welcome back. I am here with Colin Croft, who played wing defence and centre in this victorious game against New South Wales. Colin, they challenged you. They challenged you hard. The first quarter, they got up by 3 goals, and you guys had to really fight and come back and dig this out. 27 goals in the semi-final, only 8 here. Yeah, tough game. What are your thoughts on it?
It was a really tough game. It's actually been tough all the other games as well. I don't know. They just brought that A game today, and they played awesome. It was a really hard game. I can't speak, sorry. Lost my voice.
That's all right. You did an absolute insurmountable amount of work through that wing defence role in the first. I was surprised you got taken off for a little while there. Came back into the game. Did really, really well. Supported through that mid-court fantastically. Gave your goal attack, Dower and Billings as well. Lots of ball, lots of opportunity to score and to eventually run over New South. So congratulations on the grand final win. You are very, very sweaty. Stay away from me. But go and enjoy your grand final win. Thanks very much, Colin. Thank you guys very much for joining us. That's a wrap for this game. We'll be back with another grand final shortly.
passion, dedication, fun and fitness. What do all these things have in common? These are all the qualities of Game Clothing and our brand ambassadors, professional athletes Laura Langman and Stephanie Wood. Stay up to date with all the latest ambassador and product news at gameclothing.com.au.